welcome, JP. I'm glad that you're with us to talk about conscious creation and the magnificent tool that this is for us to create not only our life, but our business. So if you guys are business owners or entrepreneurs thinking about creating something from your divine being, then this is the time to be with us and hearing what JP has to offer. I've been knowing JP for a few years now, and it's really empowering to see how he always brings a different set of lights. So he was just saying that we were in Switzerland. We gathered just before Christmas in the context of the Love Army. And for those of you who are new to this is a beautiful community of love. We have our own secure platform where we gather like-hearted beings that want to do something about what's going on in the world, not just talk about it, criticize it, judge it, but just, hey, it's there. How can we together consciously create something new? And so JP being part of this mission is a really good gift because he's helping us with the strategy of this movement, and it is your family as well. So if you guys feel inspired, absolutely reach out and we'll be delighted to welcome you on board of this beautiful mission. So JP, just so that also we let people know what we're doing here, today our goal is to give you a little appetizer of what creating consciously is about, and to let you know that JP is actually hosting bi-weekly a group discussion where you can come and share your questions, maybe your project, maybe you want some ideas, some input on how to move forward more joyfully and peacefully. Sometimes we're just like so in the head and wanting to do something. So JP is a great support for that. So you will find all of this support on the platform of the Love Army. Join in if you feel inspired. We'd be delighted to have you there. And JP, let's get on with what is conscious creation.
Well, thanks, Stephanie, and appreciate you inviting me to do this interview today and to share a little bit as we continue to grow, the number of people who are part of the Love Army and the support that we're able to provide on the platform. So conscious creation is something that I had heard about for a long time, but wasn't really sure how to bring it into reality. And so I had, but before I get into that story, I want us to think about two different types of creation. And of course, there are many more than this, but the two main types of creation are conscious creation and unconscious creation. And so I'll come back to that in a little bit. But, I was going through my life, doing well, really kind of hitting on all cylinders. And then I'd get to a point and then something would happen and things would collapse. And that kept happening over and over. And I didn't understand it because, I was a good person. I was doing everything right. Why was it that things weren't necessarily going to completion? And so the last time that happened was actually due to a massive illness. And so I was searching for what was next and how might I bring my gifts to the world in different ways. And coaching was certainly something I had been doing my whole life through education. And so I found the Conscious Education Company and a different approach to creation that I was not aware of. And it was a very simple concept of shifting from a problem-based reality into a creation-based reality. And so that, to me, and I'll talk about it as well as we get into the conversation, that is the shift. That's the massive shift that each of us individually and then humanity as a whole, if we can make that shift, it changes and transforms life. It transforms business. It transforms everything about who you are and how you approach things, because it becomes a way. It becomes a way of being rather than a way of doing.
Yeah, got it. Thank you for this. Immediately something that comes up that I want to share, because your guidance just recently, a few days ago, in fact, is when currently in the Love Army, we have two massive, beautiful missions that are actually joining forces on the platform. And immediately through the conversations that you were part of, we could sense that we were concentrating on the problem or trying to find a solution into how are we going to do this? And your little input of saying, hey guys, let's just continue to create. And as we continue to create in that energy of love, in that energy of surrendering to the bigger plan, then you were able to take us away from this trying to find the solution and moving from the problem. That was very powerful, and immediately, effectively, it happened that it boosted our creativity, and then we continued to see the vision, to see the mission in moving forward. So that was very powerful, and that was a very live example at that time.
No, Stephanie, you're exactly right. And what you were doing, what the group was doing, was unconsciously creating. You were focused on the problem. You were focused on what was wrong. You were focused on how do we solve these issues instead of focusing on the creation, instead of focusing on what you would simply love to have. Yeah, and what happens when we focus, when we get into unconscious creation, we're actually living in the psychological tension of our beliefs, our old patterns. Our I'm not worthy, I'm not significant, I'm not perfect, I'm not enough, I can't do it. All of those negative self-beliefs, we live in those when we're in our unconscious creation. And so we go about, most people, most businesses, in fact, live in unconscious creation. They're just going through what they've always done with the same beliefs. And what's key to remember, your beliefs are just opinions. To step outside of them and to start looking at what is it that I truly love and what is it that I truly want to create, that's when the magic happens. So you mentioned it earlier, when we let go, when we surrender and allow the answers to come in, that divine inspiration, that connection with our higher self allows us to have those solutions, those creations, the next obvious step comes in so that we can move forward.
Yes. A big point though, it's really, really useful to have someone who is looking at the picture versus one who is in the picture, right? Because I always say, even in coaching, you know, when I guide my own clients, it's always like, when you have a big black dot right here, you don't see it when you're in the picture. But if you're looking at the picture, it's easy to say, hey, you have a big black dot right here, which is saying that having a coach, someone that is supporting the project, just as the role that you had in that moment when those two big missions were coming together, and myself who is leading one and the other person who was leading the other, we knew, our hearts were like, oh my gosh, this is the time to join forces. But you from the outside were able to say, hey guys, let's focus on this. So this is the power of the coaching side, right? So I'm grateful to have you playing this role in the Love Army and what we're creating all together. This is really beautiful. So I just want to take also this moment to remind, for those of you who are just joining us now, JP is actually talking about conscious creation. And this is just a little appetizer and to let you know what it's about. But if you do want to have that support, he's leading bi-weekly a group for answering questions. You can ask directly to him, and that is happening on the Love Army platform. And we invite you to join in if that is for you. It is absolutely time to do things differently. JP is just saying it. If we keep operating from our old patterns and our old limitations, our old beliefs in what we see we are, there's no way we can create this new world that we all want to see. And this is the power of what's happening on the Love Army platform too, is that we are all here to actually inspire and boost and uplift each other so that we can play our own instrument loudly and perfectly and joyfully. So thank you so much, JP. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Maybe I'd love to hear one particular shift that has happened for you, and so that maybe people can relate what kind of result they can get when they move into this conscious creation mode.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Stephanie. It's the shifts that occur really are out of that foundational paradigm shift that individuals and businesses go through as you shift out of problem solving and into creation mode. It is massive because our beliefs keep us safe. They've kept us safe our whole lives. And so as you're shifting and you're moving your reality toward what you're desiring, guess what? Those beliefs move with you. So they're there still. It's a matter of recognizing them, ultimately, saying hi to them, loving on them, even those negative beliefs that we think about ourselves, embracing them. Don't resist them. Embrace them and move forward. Move forward into that desired reality, into the place of living a life you love. So yes, it's been amazing for me. I mean, I've completely transformed my life in the last 18 months. And this work has been at the center of it. And I would argue even more importantly is some of the clients, many, if not all of the clients that I've worked with have seen similar shifts, and it's impacted their businesses. One of my clients who I'm working with right now, she has expanded the offerings within her business, and consequently it's expanded, I think, over 50% the number of clients who she's working with on a daily, weekly basis. So it allows the individual, by connecting with their higher self, to truly create magic.
That's beautiful. And this is totally, so completely the energy that we have on the platform of the Love Army, and this community that we're creating together, all together, joining our forces and our lights to come to that place of creation. And again, I'm sure at times, even you, JP, will benefit from having somebody else saying, hey, you have a big dot right here. So because we are in that mode, yes, that is the joy of coming together. And when we're all in that same page, in that same heart, in that same vibration. And I really do want to invite all of you that resonates with this, do come and play your instrument in this beautiful army, because this is an army of love, and we are here to stay. We're here to be armed with love, with joy, and with purpose. So in that sense, we're going to be in that beautiful conscious creation of a new world. JP, thank you so much. We do keep these little interviews short so that people have joy to listen and have a little bit of an idea of what we're doing. But please, guys, if this resonates with you, absolutely come and join us on the Love Army. And thank you, JP. We'll see you very shortly to continue our own creation of this big movement. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Stephanie. Good to see everybody here.